हेलो दोस्तों। मैं आज एक प्लेलिस्ट स्टार्ट करने वाला हूँ जिसमें फ़िज़िक्स का कोर्स स्टार्ट करेंगे हम लोग क्लास 11th के लिए। ओके, ये कोर्स आपको जेई मेन में हेल्पफुल हो सकता है, आपके बोर्ड एग्ज़ाम में हेल्पफुल हो सकता है और कुछ गवर्नमेंट एग्ज़ाम्स लाइक AAIATC जिसमें फ़िज़िक्स आती है, इन सब के लिए हेल्पफुल है। ठीक है, इस कोर्स में हम पढ़ने क्या क्या वाले हैं। फर्स्ट, इंट्रोडक्शन टू फिज़िक्स। सेकंड, फिजिक्स एंड मैथमेटिक्स। थर्ड, रेस्ट एंड मोशन, that is kinematics. Fourth, forces. Fifth, Newton laws of motion. Sixth, friction. Seventh, circular motion. Eighth, work and energy. Ninth, center of mass, linear momentum. And collision. 10th, rotational mechanics. 11th, gravitation. 12th, simple harmonic motion. 13th, fluid mechanics. 14th, some mechanical properties of matter. 15th, wave motion and waves on a string. 16th, sound waves. 17th, light waves. 18th, geometrical optics. 19, optical instruments. 20, dispersion and spectra. And 21, speed of light. 22 फोटोमेट्री। ठीक है, एक एडवाइस है, आप कहीं से भी पढ़ रहे हो, किसी भी कोर्स को फॉलो कर रहे हो, मेन चीज़ होती है क्वेश्चंस को प्रैक्टिस करना। ओके, तो आप किसी भी एग्ज़ाम की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो, चाहे वो जेई मेंस है, एडवांस है, या फिर कोई गवर्नमेंट एग्ज़ाम है, आपका सीबीएसई है, मेन चीज़ है आपको प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस करना। ठीक है, हम जो बुक फॉलो करने वाले हैं वो है एच.सी. वर्मा। अगर आपको बुक से पढ़ना पसंद है तो आप इस बुक से भी पढ़ सकते हैं, या फिर आप मेरा कोर्स देख सकते हैं। ठीक है, तो आज हम स्टार्ट करेंगे फर्स्ट चैप्टर से, डेट इज़ इंट्रोडक्शन टू फिज़िक्स। ओके, सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज़, व्हाट इज़ फिज़िक्स? Okay, the nature around us is colorful and diverse. It contains phenomena of large varieties: the winds, the sand, the waters, the planet, the rainbow, heating of an object on rubbing, the function of human body, the energy coming from the sun and the nucleus. There are a large number of objects and events taking place around us. ठीक है, मतलब क्या है ना, हमारे आसपास नेचर में बहुत चीज़ें हो रही हैं, लाइक हवा का चलना, सैंड, वाटर पानी, किसी चीज़ का गर्म हो जाना, सन में जो हीट है कहीं से आ रही होगी, न्यूक्लियस के बारे में, ये सब ही हमारे आसपास हो रहे हैं। तो फिज़िक्स क्या है? फिज़िक्स इज़ द स्टडी ऑफ नेचर एंड इट्स लॉज। फिज़िक्स क्या है? स्टडी ऑफ नेचर एंड इट्स लॉज। We expect that all these different events in nature take place according to some basic laws, and revealing these nature laws of nature from the observed event in physics. For example, the orbiting of the moon around the earth, falling of an apple from a tree, and tides in a sea on a full moon night can be explained if we know the Newton's law of gravitation and Newton's laws of motion. Physics is concerned with the basic rules which are applicable to all domains of life. Understanding of physics therefore leads to applicants in many fields, including bio and medical sciences. The great physicist Dr. R.P. Feynman has given a wonderful description of what is understanding the nature. Suppose we do not know the rules of chess but are allowed to watch the moves of the player. If we watch the game for a long time, we may make out some of the rules. With the knowledge of these rules, we may try to understand why a player played a particular move. However, this may be a very difficult task. Even if we know all the rules of chess, it is not so simple to understand all the complication of the game in a given situation and predict the correct move. Knowing the basic rule is, however, the minimum requirement if any progress is to be made. One may guess at a wrong rule by partially watching the game. The experienced player may make use of a rule for the first time, and the observer of the game may get surprised. Because of the new move, some of the rules guessed at may prove to be wrong, and observer will frame new rules. Physics goes the same way. The nature around us is like a big chess game played by nature. The events in the nature are like the moves of the great game. We are allowed to watch the events of nature and guess at the basic rules according to which the events take place. We may come across new events which we do not follow the rules guessed earlier. and we may have to declare the old rules inapplicable or wrong and discovered new rules. Since physics is the study of nature, it is real. No one has given the authority to frame the rules of physics. We only discover the rules that are operating in nature. Aryabhat, Newton, Einstein, or Feynman are the great physicists because from the observation available at that time they could guess and frame the laws of physics which explained these observations in a convincing way. But there can be a new phenomena any day, and if the rules discovered by the great scientists are not able to explain this phenomena, no one will hesitate to change these rules. Second is physics and mathematics. जो भी मैंने अब तक इंग्लिश में बोला या समझाया उसका मतलब ये है कि फिज़िक्स बनती कैसे है। हम आसपास जो जो भी चीज़ देखते हैं फर्स्ट उसको हम ऑब्ज़र्व करते हैं। ऑब्ज़र्व करने के बाद हम कुछ लॉज प्रिडिक्ट करते हैं जिससे कि हम नेक्स्ट जो होने वाला है उसको प्रिडिक्ट कर सकें। आर्यभट्ट, न्यूटन, आइंस्टाइन और फेनमैन ग्रेट फिजिस्ट हैं जिन्होंने अपनी ऑब्जर्वेशन से एक ग्रेट फ्रेम तैयार किया जिस पे फिज़िक्स पूरा बेस है। नेक्स्ट हम चलते हैं फिज़िक्स एंड मैथमेटिक्स पर। सो द डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ नेचर बिकम्स ईजी इफ़ वी हैव द फ्रीडम टू यूज़ मैथमेटिक्स। To say that the gravitation force between two mass is proportional to the product of masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance apart is more difficult than to write. ठीक है, like we all know gravitation law. So with the help of mathematics we can frame the equation, and from that equation we can analyze the situation. Okay, like what gravitation law states that अगर हमारे पास दो ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं, सपोज इसका मास m1 है, सेकंड का मास m2 है और ये r डिस्टेंस अपार्ट है, ठीक है, फ्रॉम द सेंटर। तो ग्रेविटेशन लॉ कहता है कि that gravitation force between two mass is proportional to the product of mass and inversely proportional to the square of distance apart। तो या तो हम इंग्लिश में ये लाइन बोल सकते हैं या फिर हम मैथमेटिकली सिर्फ लिख सकते हैं क्या, ये। तो मैथमेटिक्स इज़ अ ग्रेट टूल फॉर फिजिक्स, ठीक है। फर्दर द टेक्निक ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स सच एज एल्जेब्रा, ट्रिग्नोमेट्री, कैलकुलस, trigonometry and calculus can be used to make prediction from the basic equation. Thus we know the basic rule 1 above, the force between two particles. We can use the technique of integral calculus to find what will be the force exerted by a uniform rod on a particle placed on a perpendicular bisector. Thus mathematics is the language of physics. Without knowledge of mathematics it would be much more difficult to discover, understand, and explain the laws of nature. The importance of mathematics in today's world cannot be disputed. However, mathematics itself is not a physics. ठीक है, तो मैथमेटिकल फिजिक्स नहीं है, मैथमेटिकल इज अ टूल फॉर फिजिक्स। मैथमेटिक्स इज अ टूल फॉर फिजिक्स। We use a language to express our ideas, but the idea that we want to express has the main attention. If we are poor at grammar and vocabulary, it would be difficult for us to communicate our feelings, but while doing so, our basic interest is the feeling that we want to express. It is nice to board a deluxe coach to go from Delhi to Agra, but the sweet memories of the deluxe coach and the video film shown on the way are next to the prime goal of reaching Agra. To understand nature is physics. ठीक है, so what is physics? To understand the nature, and mathematics is the deluxe coach to take us there comfortably. This relationship of physics and mathematics must be clearly understood and kept in mind while doing a physics course. So physics care to understand nature. और मैथमेटिक्स क्या इज अ टूल फॉर फिजिक्स. ठीक है, सो दिस हाउ मैथमेटिक्स एंड फिजिक्स आर कनेक्टेड. नाउ यूनिट्स आर मोर important in physics or any mathematics. Physics describes the laws of nature. This description is quantitative and involves measurement and comparison of physical quantities. To measure a physical quantity, we need some standard units of that quantity. An elephant is heavier than a goat, but exactly how many times? Weight of elephant is greater than weight of goat, but exactly how many times? This question can be easily answered if we have chosen a standard mass, calling it a unit mass. Suppose we have a unit mass, then we can easily compare this equation. If the elephant is 200 times the unit mass, suppose if elephant mass is 200 times of unit mass and the goat mass is 20 times of unit mass, so we know that the weight of element is greater than weight of goat. But in physics, mass and weight are different quantities, but right now I am using this in sync. Okay, so if I have the knowledge of unit length and someone says that Gandhi Maidan is 5 times the unit length from here, I will have the idea whether I should walk down to Gandhi Maidan, or I should ride a rickshaw, or I should go by a bus. Thus the physical quantities are quantitatively quantitatively expressed in terms of a unit of that quantity. The measurement of that quantity is mentioned in two parts. The first part gives how many times of the standard units, and the second part gives the name of the unit. Suppose I have to study it for 2 hours. Okay, so the point is the measurement of the quantity is mentioned in two parts. The first part gives how many times of standard unit, and the second part gives the name of the unit. Okay, suppose I have to study for 2 hours. Okay, example लेते हैं. Suppose I have to study for 2 hours. The numeric part 2, ये जो numeric part 2 है, says that it is the 2 times of the unit of time, and the second part hours says that the unit chosen here is an hour. Okay, so who decide the units? So the question is, who decides the units? कौन है बैठा बैठा जो यूनिट्स डिसाइड कर रहा है? हाउ इज अ स्टैंडर्ड यूनिट चूजन फॉर अ फिजिकल क्वांटिटी? द फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट इट शुड हैव इंटरनेशनल एक्सेप्टेंस। जो भी डिसाइड कर रहा है उसके लिए इंटरनेशनल एक्सेप्टेंस होनी चाहिए कि हर देश उस यूनिट को एक्सेप्ट करे। अदरवाइज एवरीवन विल चूज हिज और हर own unit for the quantity and it will be difficult to communicate freely among the person distributed over the world. A body named Conference General des Poets at Measure or CGPM, also known as General Conference on Weight and Measure in English, has given the authority to decide units by international agreement. तो कौन सी संस्था है जो ये यूनिट डिसाइड करती है? उसका नाम है इंग्लिश में जनरल कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑन वेट एंड मेजर्स। और दूसरा इसका नाम है फ्रेंच में जनरले डेस पोइट्स एट मेजर्स। ओके, so it holds its meeting and any change in standard units are communicated through the publication of the conference. Now, fundamental and derived units. Fundamental and derived units. Okay, there are a large number of physical quantities which are measured and every quantity needs a definition of unit. However, not all the quantities are independent of each other. As a simple example, if a unit of length is defined, a unit of area is automatically obtained. As suppose we have length, so unit of area may be length into length. Okay, so if we make a square with its length equal to its breadth equal to unit length, its area can be called the unit area. All areas can then be compared to this standard unit of area. Similarly, if a unit of length and a unit of time intervals are defined, a unit of speed is automatically obtained. If a particles cover a unit length in the unit time interval, we say that it has a unit speed. As we know, speed is equal to distance by time. So distance and time units are independent of each other. Okay, but speed unit is dependent on distance and time. We can define a set of fundamental quantities as follow. Fundamental quantity. Okay, fundamental quantity. So we can define it as follows. The fundamental quantities should be independent of each other. The fundamental quantities should be independent of each other, and all other quantities may be expressed in terms of the fundamental quantities. All other quantities may be expressed in terms of the fundamental quantities. It turns out that the number of fundamental quantities is only 7. 7 fundamental quantities we have. All the rest may be derived from the quantities by multiplication and division. Many different choices can be made for the fundamental quantities. For example, one can take speed and time as fundamental quantity. Length is then a derived quantity. If something travels at a unit speed, the distance it covers in a unit time interval will called a unit distance. One may also take length and time interval as the fundamental quantity. Then speed will be a derived quantity. Several systems are in use over the world, and in each system the fundamental quantities are selected in a particular way. The units defined for fundamental quantities are called fundamental units. The units defined for the fundamental quantities are called fundamental units. And these obtained units for the derived quantities are called derived units. And those obtained for the derived quantities are called the derived units. Fundamental quantities are also called base quantities. Fundamental quantities are also called base quantities. Now move to the next part, SI units. In 1971, CGPM held its meeting and decided a system of units which is known as International System of Units. International System of Units. It is abbreviated as SI from the French name layer system में international day units. This system is widely used throughout the world. Okay, let's see some of the fundamental quantities, 7 fundamental quantities. Supposedly this is quantity here, here name of the unit, and here is symbol. Quantity is length, name of unit is meter, symbol is m. Name of quantity is mass, name of unit is kilogram, and symbol is kg. Name of quantity is time, name of unit is second, symbol is s. Name of quantity is electric current, which we will study in class 12th. Name of unit is ampere, and symbol is A. Name of quantity is thermodynamic temperature. Name of unit is Kelvin, symbol is K. Now name of quantity is amount of substance, and as we familiar it with from chemistry, name of unit is mole, and symbol is MOL. Name of quantity is luminous intensity. Name of unit is candela, and symbol is CD. So this is the table for fundamental or base quantities with its unit and symbol. Okay. Beside the 7 fundamental units, 2 supplementary units are defined. They are for plane angle and solid angle. The unit for plane angle, okay. So supplementary units apart from fundamental units, supplementary units, these are plane angle and solid angle. The unit for plane angle is radian with symbol RAD, and the unit for solid angle is steradian and the symbol is SR. Okay. Now SI prefixes, system of international system of units prefixes. The magnitudes of physical quantities vary over a wide range. We talk of separation between two protons inside a nucleus which is 10 raised to power minus 15 meter, and the distance of a quasar from Earth which is about 10 raised to power 26 meter. The mass of an electron is 9.1 into 10 raised to power minus 31 kg, and that of our galaxy, mass of galaxy, is 2.2 into 10 raised to power 41 kg. The CGPM recommends standard prefixes for certain powers of 10. Okay, let's see some prefixes so that we can cover a wide range to measure quantities, as like in nucleus, galaxy distance is mass of electron, mass of galaxy. Okay, so we need prefixes. So let's see SI prefixes. Here power of 10, here prefix, and here symbol. So if the power of 10 is 18, prefix is exa, symbol is E. 15 peta, symbol is P. 12 tera, symbol is T. 9 giga, symbol is G. 6 mega, symbol is M. 3 kilo, symbol is K. 2 hecto, symbol is H. 1 deca, symbol is Da. -1 and continues -1, -2, -3, -6, -9, -12, -15, -18. Okay, and for -1 it is deci, for -2 it is centi, for -3 it's milli, then micro, then nano, then pico, then femto, then atto, and the symbols are for this D, for centi, C for milli, M for micro, mu for nano, N for pico, P for femto, F for atto, A. Okay, so these are SI prefixes. Now move to the next part, definition of base units. Okay, any standard unit should have the following two properties. Okay, two properties required are, first one is invariability. The standard unit must be invariable, thus defining distance between the tip of a middle finger and the elbow as a length is not invariable. Okay, so the standard units must be invariable. Now second is availability. The standard units should be easily made available for comparing with other quantities. The procedure to define a standard values as a unit are quite often not very simple and use modern equipments. Thus, a complete understanding of this procedure cannot be given. Okay. We briefly mentioned the definition of a base units which may serve as a reference if needed. So I think we should skip this part, like how the meter as base units are decided and how kg as a base unit is decided. Okay, you can study it on internet, it is not very relevant. Okay, that how the base units are decided. For example, let's see one, as meter is the unit of length and it is decided as the distance traveled by light in vacuum in 1 by 299,792,458 second. Okay, this is called 1 meter. So this is how the base units are decided, and then these base units are decided, are used for derived units. So you can see it on internet how the 7 base units are decided. Now let's move to the next topic, that is dimension. All the physical quantities of interest can be derived from the base quantities. Okay, all the physical quantities, this is important now, all the physical quantities of interest can be derived from the base quantities. When a quantity is expressed in terms of base quantities, it is written as a product of different powers of the base quantities. The exponent of a base quantities that enter into the expression is called the dimension. Okay, the exponent of a base quantity that enters into the expression is called the dimension of the quantity. In that base, to make it clear, consider the physical quantity force. Okay, for example, let's take force. As we shall learn later, force is equal to the mass times acceleration, and the acceleration is the change in velocity divided by the time interval. Velocity is the length divided by the time interval. Okay, we will learn it later. Thus force is equal to mass and acceleration, or mass into velocity by time, or velocity is as length by time, and mass into length by time square. Thus the dimension of force are 1 in mass, 1 in length, and as this can be written as into time raised to power minus 2, so minus 2 in time. The dimension in all other base quantities are 0. Note that in this type of calculation the magnitudes are not considered. It is the equality of the type of quantity that enters. Thus change in velocity, initial velocity, average velocity, final velocity, all are equivalent in this discussion. Each one is length by time. For convenience, the base quantities are represented by one letter symbol. Generally, mass is denoted by m, length is denoted by L, time is denoted by T, and electric current is denoted by A or I, sometimes I, but A is considered, I think. The thermodynamic temperature and the luminous intensity are denoted by the symbol of their units, like K, mole, CD respectively. Okay, the physical quantities that is expressed in terms of the base quantities is enclosed in square. Okay, is enclosed in square, like this. To remind that the equation is among the dimension and not among the magnitudes. So this square bracket denote that we are considering the dimension, not the magnitudes. Thus the above expression can be written as force as to denote what? Dimension, and its dimension is for mass it's 1, for L it's 1, for time t is minus 2, or we can also write as mlt minus 2. Okay, because here square bracket is defining that we are considering the dimension. Okay, such an expression for physical quantity in terms of the base quantities is called dimensional formula. So this is what known as dimensional formula. Thus the dimensional formula for force is mlt minus 2, m raised to power 1, l raised to power 1, t raised to power minus 2. The two versions of given below are equivalent and are used interchangeably. Okay, as we can say that the dimensional formula for force is this, or we can say that the dimension of force are 1 in mass, 1 in length, and minus 2 is time. This is, I think, is convenient. Okay, now let's see the example. Example is calculate the dimensional formula of energy from the equation E is equals to half mv square. So as I know that the, this expression is for kinetic energy, but in question it is not given, and its unit is joule. Now we have to calculate the dimensional formula. So how can we do that? As we know, we are not considering the magnitude. So dimensionally E is equals to mass into velocity square. Okay, and we know that velocity is length by time. So m here, L here, T here, and we can also write this equation as m L2 T raised to power minus 2. So this is the dimensional formula for energy. Now move to the next topic. Uses of dimension. Uses of dimension. It's a part. Let's consider homogeneity of dimension in an equation. Homogeneity of dimensions in equation. An equation contains several terms which are separated from each other by the symbols of equality plus or minus. The dimension of all the terms in an equation must be identical. This is another way of saying that one can add or subtract similar physical quantities. Okay, one can add or subtract only similar physical quantities or the physical quantity which have the same dimensional formula. Thus, a velocity cannot be added to a force or electric current cannot be subtracted from the thermodynamic temperature. This simple principle is known as principle of homogeneity of dimension. Principle of homogeneity of dimension. Okay, I think brightness get low. This simple principle is principle of homogeneity of dimension, that only those quantity can be added or subtracted which have the same dimensional formula. Only those physical quantities can be added or subtracted which have the same dimensional formula. And this is extremely useful method to check whether an equation may be correct or not. If the dimensions of all the terms are not same, the equation must be wrong. Let us check the equation. Suppose we have equation x is equal to ut plus half at square. For the dimensional homogeneity, here x is the distance, here x is the distance traveled by the particle in time t, which starts at the speed u and has an acceleration a. So x dimensional formula is L, ut dimensional formula is velocity into time, velocity is length by time into time, and here it is also L. Now half at square as at square, as we are not considering the magnitude. Acceleration into time, acceleration is L by t square, and here it is L. So only those physical quantities can be added which have the same dimensional formula, and this will be equal to L. So this equation is dimensionally correct. Okay, I don't know that it is correct or not, but we can say that it is dimensionally correct. Now limitation of the method. limitations of method. Note that the dimension of half 80 square is same as that of the dimension of 80 square. Pure numbers are dimensionless. Dimension does not depend on the magnitude. Due to this reason, the equation x equal to ut plus 80 square is also dimensionally correct. Thus, a dimensionally correct equation need not to be the actually correct, but a dimensionally wrong equation must be wrong. Okay. So there is an important thing that dimensionally correct equation need not to be actually correct, but a dimensional wrong equation must be wrong. Let's see an example. Question is test dimensionally if the formula t is equals to 2 pi by 2 pi into under root m by f by x may be correct, where t is time period, m is mass, f is force, and x is distance. Let's solve this question. The dimension of force is as we know ml t raised to power minus 2. Okay, and the dimension of the right side is like t as t. For the dimension of the t is t, and for the right side we are not considering the magnitude, we are considering only this. So here dimension can be written as for f m l t minus 2 by x as L here is m not m, and the dimension of f m is m. Here we can cancel out each other, and the answer is 1 by t minus 2 t2, and here is t. So yes, the left hand side is the time period, and hence the dimension is t. The dimension of both sides are equal, and hence the formula may be correct, but it is dimensionally correct. Okay, so we will continue this lecture. So like this, please like, comment and subscribe my channel, and we will continue the topics, that is conversion of units, limitation of the dimensional method, deducing relation among physical quantities, order of magnitude, and the structure of the world. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and subscribe my channel, and share this video so that your friends can be helpful for me.